Hello, I'm Kevin Church, and for our May 2019 MUFIC Songwriter of the Month, we have Eric Barnett. How you doing, Eric?
Good, Kevin. Thanks
Good.
for having me.
Oh, man, it's great to have you. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Did you come from a musical family?
A bit, yeah. My mother was the pianist and my grandma the organist at our church. But they read the music off the page. They're not creators of music. But that is where I got my first love for hearing music, and a lot of my earliest memories of hearing music is having my grandma play like old Beatles and Stones records for me.
So you consider that your earliest influences then?
Absolutely.
So what got you into songwriting then?
Definitely the Beatles. I really loved all of those songs and learning how to play guitar. Absolutely. Learning how to play guitar and really picking them apart and learning them. You kind of get an idea about telling stories, and I would say definitely early on the Beatles. Yeah.
So how many songs, or when did you start writing songs?
When I was in high school, in the 90s, grunge was the big thing. So Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, listening to all that. So it's called writing songs, but it's not songs that I would feel comfortable picking up an acoustic guitar and playing for anybody. So playing in a lot of rock bands growing up, I wrote a lot of songs, and then in college, kind of doing the same thing. But as far as writing what I would consider more singer-songwriter songs, probably about 10 years ago, and they're all very autobiographical. So when I first started writing songs like that, I really wasn't comfortable playing them for people. They were sort of for me.
Right.
And then over time, getting a little bit more comfortable putting myself out there. It's still never absolutely the most,
You're bearing your soul with people, man.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me. That's what you're telling me.
That's sort of the point. A lot of the time, I play a lot of open mics here around Charleston. A lot of the time driving home, I'll put on some of my favorite singer-songwriters of the moment. And one I really like to put on and listen to is John Moreland. And on the way home, I'll listen and I'll just be like, man, he's going deep. I got to go deeper.
I got you.
It's very vulnerable to be up there in front of people that don't know you, and they kind of want to hear Wagon Wheel and Tennessee Whiskey and all that stuff. But you're up there singing about, your heartaches and heartbreaks and stuff like that. It's a very vulnerable position to be in.
It is. That's a scary position at times too, but we got to do it, right?
Absolutely.
The art gets way better when we do.
I think so.
I agree. So the next thing is, does lyrics come first? Does the music like a riff or something come first, or what comes to you when you're writing songs?
If it's a song I'm going to finish quickly, the lyrics come first, because when the lyrics come, usually a melody comes, and you right away, you know what it's going to be about. So you start thinking what you can write about. And then once you have the melody, the chords are pretty easy to pick out after that. I have a lot of songs that I'm writing. I write the music first. I love it. I love what I'm playing, but I have no idea where to start with the lyrics. So I probably have 20 songs worth of music in the can, just ready for lyrics.
Just waiting.
Yeah, just waiting. Yeah.
I understand that too. I can relate. So with those songs, you've got some that you just crank out,
mm-hmm.
and some that take a little bit longer time to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're telling me. So what happens? Like maybe like a bit of inspiration or something. What breaks you out of that? How do you break out of that to get the song done, you think?
Well, if I knew how to the point where it would be a formula, I would be incredibly happy. But for me, it's so unexpected. The song I'm going to play later today, Slow Sip of Whiskey, it actually came from watching a TV show. I was watching Sports Night. It used to be on network television, probably in the early 2000s. And I just overheard the line. Somebody said, "Oh, she's like a slow sip of whiskey." And that's the whole song. It came after that. I was looking to write a song for my wife, and that the rest wrote itself. There's other times that I've put a deadline in.
Right.
And if I install a deadline, somehow I'll slide one in at the last minute. But I really don't have a formula how to break myself out of that sort of writer's block, you know?
I understand. So, would you consider yourself, now that we've talked about the process and how it takes time or something happens, would you consider yourself a sculptor or painter of your songs?
If I had to decide between those two, I would choose the sculptor, but it's more like an accidental archaeologist. I'm kind of out there just digging in the dirt every day, and most days there's nothing, and then some days you find a little something, and then you dig the rest of it up, and you hope you can present it in a way that people think you did it on purpose, you know?
That's wild, man. That's a really good answer. I love it.
Thank you.
So I'm thinking we're about ready to perform on your song.
Sure.
Looking forward to playing on it. Like Slow Sip of Whiskey, correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So where can people find you?
So Eric Barnett is my name.
Right.
Eric Barnett Music. It's pretty much everywhere they can find me. ericbarnettmusic.com. That's also my Facebook handle, my Instagram handle, YouTube.
Great. That's your hub. People can just go there and find you.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, Eric Barnett, everybody.
She's a shipwreck in a bottle. She's lightning in a jar. She's pulling on the strings to this heart. She's the furnace and the fire, the shovel and the coal. She's a slow sip of whiskey to my soul. She's the lightning and the thunder, the rumble and the quake. She's moonlight's mirror image on the lake. She's the giver and the taker, the maker and the molder. She's a slow sip of whiskey to my soul. She comes on like a fever. She leaves just like a dream. She's the thread and she's the needle. She's the seam. She can cut just like a razor, but I hang on every word. And every breath that I pull into my lungs, I breathe for her. She's my sail and my anchor, the sea and she's the shore. She's the part of me that I spend my life looking for. Found my needle in a haystack, and I will never let her go. She's a slow sip of whiskey to my soul. She's a slow sip of whiskey to my